What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Sheehan Show on Sherdog.com. And before we get into today's episode, we must tell you that BetUS is offering our listeners an incredible 125% bonus on their deposits for UFC 273. Use the code Sherdog and get up to $2,500 in extra money to make fight night even better. At BetUS.com, you can not only bet on each fight, but they have loads of awesome parlay bets to choose from as well. Bet live during the fights and get your winnings paid within hours. Start the fight at BetUS.com and use the code Sherdog. That's right, I'm back here with the man himself, the 2021 Irish Professional Fighter of the Year, Ian Garry, before his big fight with Darian Weeks at UFC 273. Not too far away now, Ian, but we'll get to that in a second. How does it feel? I remember we spoke, it was probably around 16 months ago or something like that, and you were kind of giving out, I should have been the Professional Fighter of the Year this year. Next year I'm going to win that. How good does it feel to actually do it? You know, and to be, without a shadow of a doubt, like there was a lot of good performances last year, but I think everyone agrees that you were the Fighter of the Year last year from Ireland.
I mean, look, I'm not going to big myself up, but I mean, it was the truth. Like it was clear as day. You know, win a world title, make my UFC debut. You know, when no one else did that, so I mean, it's only fair. I never agreed with your emerging prospect. Five fights and under. I get it. It makes sense. But I'm sitting there going, dude, I'm like 3-0 every year. I'm like, I've won 3 fights every year. I'm like, I've finished. I've done everything I've needed to do. Just give me the fucking best fighter. And then you're like, one day you'll get it. 2 emerging prospects of the year, and then I finally get Fighter of the Year. So you know what? It feels good.
I think that's the Ian Garry rule now, because we were like, we have to, because there's so many fighters who are emerging but doing good things. But anyway,
if anyone ever gets Fighter of the Year and is under 5 fights, I'm going to be fucking livid. No. I will lose it.
I'm dead, son. I'll make sure. That. Before we kick things off as well, though, congratulations, you got married since the last time I'm talking to you. I don't lay around with you there. Should I be introducing you as Ian Garry Machado? No, I know you have that on your...
Ian Machado Garry, yeah.
Okay, are you going to be introduced as that when you come out on next Saturday?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I want to, it's the name it's my new name. It's not like... It's not done on my passports and all that, but it will be when I renew them. But we'll do that for another time. That's my new name. That's what I want. That's what I wanted.
How's married life been treating you? I know, like, your life has changed so much in the last 2 years. You moved country, you moved gym. Yeah. How's it been treating you?
Dude, it's fucking amazing. Do you know what I mean? It's a complete upgrade in every sense of like the word. Like, it's just stepping up to that elite level and getting better and better and better. And obviously, just before we spoke live, like bringing like your favorite fighter, Jason Jackson, like, dude, it's like I'm training with so many fucking elite level athletes every day. It's hard not to get better. Do you know what I mean? It's hard not to improve when you're surrounded by so many fucking good guys. Obviously, look, I don't think anyone on the planet would say that the Irish weather is better than the Florida weather, because it's not. But like, I miss Ireland, I love Ireland, but it's completely different over here. You know what I mean? I'm playing beautiful golf courses in 28 degrees heat. It's hard to beat. And then obviously you've just got just the warmth in general is good for the body. Like, you fucking know it, like, being in Ireland, like, you've got to wear like 6 layers some days. It's cold, that wind, it cuts you up.
I'm here and it's 9 degrees out and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, so I've plenty of insulation. Yeah. That's the other thing. What about that golf though? I know you invited DC out for a game of golf. How's it going? What are you down to now? You professional MMA, professional golf extra?
Not yet. No, I've made a deal with Layla that when I'm finished my fighting career, I'm going to spend a year. I'm going to get a professional coach. I'm going to get a caddy. I'm going to get a physio. I'm going to get a strength and condition. And I'm going to go golf every single day. And I'm going to do my very best to go pro. Why not? I reckon I could do it. If I was to do everything I'm doing now in regards to like the hardest training in the world, like I'm literally fighting lads every single day, like going through such strenuous training sessions, strength and conditioning, pushing myself to the limits, that if I was to go hit a little tiny golf ball and try to stick it in a hole 400 yards away, I reckon I could do that. I reckon you give me, if if I could get that technique down and just keep that consistency, I reckon within a year I could get down like proper pro level, 100%.
Do you reckon
it'll take commitment though, right?
It would, yeah. Do you reckon growing up hurling helped you or hindered you? Because I know a lot of people, the swing is very different, and lads who play a bit of hurling.
Yeah, the cat handed and shit like that were hurling. No, I feel it helped me. I feel like it's obviously completely different, but yeah, it helps. But the golf here, it's absolutely beautiful. Like, there's a course near the house that we're living in, and it's stunning. It's just 27 holes, nice out in the open, like it's just beautiful.
I am jealous. I must say, I'm definitely jealous.
Dude, I'm trying to tell everyone. I've got loads of friends and family coming out here now for the fight, and I'm trying to tell them, like, I want them to like leave and be jealous. Like, it's that nice. Like, I want them to come here and be like, shit, I understand where you left.
How many people do you think are travelling over? I know obviously the friends and family and stuff. Do you think a lot of the fans will fly over? Because we're kind of at a stage now where we're like, seems like the other side of the pandemic, but it's hard to know if people are still doing it. You need visas and stuff. What do you think?
I don't. So I know there's a lot of people coming over. Specifically friends and family. I know there's a lot of them coming over. But like, even like speaking to them, like, I know it's expensive. So I'm not really in touch with all the people that are coming. I've like shut myself out. What I do at camps is I've literally taken myself out of the situation, and I just go and just focus on what I'm doing. But there's a lot of people coming out. Do I think that there's let me just turn this fire off. Do I think that there is a load of extra Irish people coming out that don't necessarily have tied to me? I know there's a couple. I've got messages of a couple, but not by the thousands yet. Not by the thousands yet. But we'll get that. Don't you worry. That's coming. As I said, the slow build up of hype is going to bring it to the point that we're going to sell out stadiums. Eventually, when it's me and Conor on a UFC card, that will do it as well. And then it'll just change. Everyone will just keep coming out. Sean, what I want from like my friends, my family, my supporters, anyone that wants to follow my career, I know it's a lot. Like speaking of my friends and family, like, they're coming out here. It's expensive for them, right? They have to take weeks off work. They have to spend money on flights, accommodation. But it's a holiday. It's an experience. It's supporting a friend. It's supporting someone you can get behind and like a countryman. So it's awesome. And that's what I want. I don't want to fight in London and have people go over to London. Well, it's cool. Do you know what I mean? I'd much rather people fly over to Florida or New York or Vegas and give them like these experiences. And yeah, at the end of the day, you'll turn back and look at that and go, shit, remember we already in here and we fought in XYZ and we went here and it was amazing. That's what I want.
UFC 273 is even more fun when you bet at BetUS.com. Use the code Sherdog and get an incredible 125% bonus up to $2,500. I know Ian Garry is fighting on that card, but Volkanovski is also on it as well. And he's a clear favourite against the Korean Zombie. So get in now and even choose to bet to win by a TKO or KO or submission or whatever you like to increase your winnings. At BetUS.com, you can even make the fights more fun by betting throughout the fights. Start the fight at BetUS.com. Use the code Sherdog. Do you think that separation from Ireland has been like what's it been like to you? Do you think it's something that you might need to overcome in terms of like being close to the fans? Because like it's something in Irish MMA. I remember I talked to James Gallagher a couple of months ago at this stage. He's gone out and trained in America now as well, and it's something that because of Conor and because he said I need to be loyal to my gym, I need to be loyal to Ireland, I need to stay here, I can't go anywhere. Even though he did travel to Iceland, he did travel to different places. I feel like the fans have been like, brainwashed a little bit to think everyone needs to stay in Ireland, do everything here. Have you seen that a little bit from the fans and feel like that there's like a little bit of separation at the moment? Obviously, it's something that you probably will overcome, and especially if you keep winning. But do you feel that?
I understand what you're saying. Do I feel it? No. Everyone who's been in contact has said it's the right thing to do. A lot of people are saying to me now, again, I disagree with this. It could go to. People say to me like, oh, Conor would have been a much better fighter had he gone away. I'm like, he done good enough, right? He did good enough where he was. I'm not going to think about if he could have been better. He done what he did and fair fucks him, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to know if he could have been better or what he had done. There's obviously advantages to staying in Ireland. Like if I stayed in Ireland, I'd be the guy. Do you know what I mean? I'd get all the one-on-ones. But I don't want to be the guy. I want to be pushed. So I mean, the guys I'm stepping onto the mats with here, like He fucking hand hidings out every day to everyone. Like, and like, there's not a single person in this gym that wins every round, that wins every minute of sparring. Like, it is a fucking tough. And no, there's no ego in here in regards to like people are swinging at each other and fucking going aggressive. Everyone has an ego and they want to win and they want to be better and they want to learn, they want to grow. But it's a big team bond here. And that's the thing I was happiest about, was when I came here and figured out that it is like that. Okay, I was like, right, I'm going to be in a gym with like, essentially, if you could go through the mindset, like another 40 me's, like people who think the same way I do and want to win every round. Well, I want to win every second of every round, every single day I wake up. But it's fucking hard, and that pushes it. That's the challenges that we face every day. It's like growing, getting better, working with our teammates, working with like the coaches. I think it's the best decision I've ever made. I'm happy that I'm here. I'm like grateful to be surrounded by the team and the coaches that I have, and I believe that it's gonna excel me to a different level than I already could have been at. And I can already see from being here such a short time that the relationship I've built with Henry and Jason Strout and Greg Jones and all the guys here, it's like I am going to excel so much here. And it's little things, Sean. It's little things like just fixing like fundamentals on punching, on kicking, on defensive wrestling, offensive wrestling. But like, I mean like a foot position. Not like you need to learn how to American wrestle. It's like, no, move your feet, do little things. And that's what I'm happiest about, is that it's not coming here and it's going, right, you need to like be able to sprawl, reshot, sprawl, shoot, lift, dump, all this. It's not. It's like, you're not going to do that yet. You're going to get there eventually. But what we can do is we can fix those little things to get you better and better and better. So every fight you step in there, you've got more skill set than you did the last fight. You've got more tools than you did the last fight, and your knowledge and your understanding of positions is better than the last fight. And that's all we can ever be, is be better than the last fight, because you are only judged on your performance that you stepped into the cage, right?
I want to jump back to the Sanford guys in a second, but I want to ask you about that last fight scene as you brought it up. I watched it again last night. I'm interested in what you think. Have you watched that fight back much, and what did you think about your performance in that fight?
My fight against Jordan Williams.
Yeah.
I thought it was a terrible performance. It was terrible. Like, I mean, I said it straight after the mic. Like, even when I went over to Henry and Greg after I knocked them out, I said, hey, we've got a lot to learn. But do you know what I mean? Like, we've got time. Do you know what I mean? I'm 24 years of age. I know I've got a lot of time to learn and grow in the sport. Like, I know I'm not anywhere near the potential I can be and will be in a couple of years. And that's why I'm so excited by this entire career, because it's like, I'm only going to get better. That's the best part about this. It's not backwards. It's always just steps forward. So I try to explain this to people, and it's hard to explain with words, but I can try to do it the best I can, right? You're a massive fight fan, right? I don't know if your dream was to ever be a fighter, or you've dreamt of standing in that UFC octagon, do you know what I mean? With the gloves on, Bruce Buffer calling your name out. And the thing that got me the most was looking up at the LED signs going around MSG and seeing the future Ian Garry with a red tint. And I was just like, ha, I made it. Like, my dream, I've said this, my dream has always been to be a UFC fighter. Like, there's not a lot of people on the planet that can say that. Like, they're the elite of the elite. It's the top tier in MMA. And it's like, I've made it. Like, I'm standing in this position where I've dreamt of being, and I'm about to go in and have a fight in the UFC. And it was hard for me to kind of take that joy and feeling of like pride away from myself, because when Bruce was over, I was like, the future, and I'm like, seriously, this is it. Like, I was just happy. I trying to keep it in, but it's like, it was just so positive that it was hard to then bring myself back down, calm down, go, shit, I'm actually going to get punched in the face now. So Jordan caught me a couple of nice shots. And you know what? Fair play to him. He woke me up. Like, he got me back where I needed to be. And I'm like, he didn't once daze me, didn't once hurt me. It was like, caught me some good shots. But once I kind of, once we got into the wrestling exchange, I pivoted. I gave him a quick sidestep. He slipped and jumped on my leg. Once he grabbed that leg, I knew I was back. It was like, right, shit, I've got to be on it now. Like, that's it. Like, go. Last thing you want to do is get taken down and put your back in a debut, right? It doesn't look good. And that was it. From that moment on, I feel like the rest of the fight was me just figuring them out and doing what I normally do the first 2.5 minutes of a fight, which is figure out what someone's strengths and weaknesses are, find out their patterns, how they move, where they move, what they do. Does their footstep, does their hand come down? All these little things that my brain just analyzes without me even trying to do it. And the best in the world have that skill. And then it was like, right, I seen he started reaching and he was reaching. I was like, okay, give him the confidence. Let him do it. Let him try. And then boom. Okay, good night.
It went pretty well. Obviously, we come on Darian Weeks on ask you next, but I remember we spoke. Geez, it was a good while ago now, and I remember it was before Gilbert Burns fought Usman. I remember you were arguing before you even trained there. You were still over in Ireland at this stage. You were arguing with me, and not arguing with me, but you were saying to me that Gilbert Burns was the best welterweight in the world, and you spent 5 minutes explaining why. And now to be training with that guy and be training with some of the other best in the world as well, how good has it been to be like, not just training with him, but to be able to say, like, this is the goal I need to get to be the best in the world. How great has that been for you to be in there? And is there any stories like training with Gilbert or training with other guys like that you could tell us, and how have you found it?
So, Sean, this is the difference. Like, this is the biggest difference between training in Ireland and training in America or one of the top teams in the world, wherever it may be, right? You're talking about just Gilbert Burns. Right, and I fucking love the dude. There's not a person in MMA who doesn't like Gilbert Burns. He's an absolute legend, right? And I love him. He was in there today. He came in with a shaved head. He's amazing. He's a phenomenal talent. And I said to you, he could have easily won that fight. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't wrong. That was my opinion. My opinion. Like, both of them were here. Like last week, Kamaru was on the mats helping Gilbert, coaching during a round. Like, but the biggest difference, right? Since I've been here, I've shared training sessions on, like, one-on-one, either whether it be sparring or doing pad work or doing technical striking. I've done it with Gilbert. I've done it with Vicente Luque. I've done it with Kamaru Usman. I've done it with Logan Storley, who I know you rate so highly in Bellator. I know I've done it with Jason Jackson, who you rate highly in. Do you know what I mean? Just those guys alone. I don't need to name anyone else. You're talking about, like, literally 5 of the best welterweights on the planet. All different skill sets. Every single one of them. None of them are similar. And I get to go with these guys every single day. Every single day I'm learning. I see different looks in them. I get different styles off them. They show me a different style. It's like, I'm just excited to be here and doing what I'm doing. But, like, that's the difference, right? That's the biggest difference. I'm surrounded by that elite level talent. Like, the top 5 in the game. Like, 3 of the top 5, and then 2 of the top 5 in Bellator. You know, both of them should be fighting for a Bellator title. It's insane, and that's the biggest difference for me.
So, Darian Weeks, how are them lads helping you prepare for him? What do you think of him? Because I watched his fight in the UFC. He seems like they talked about him on the commentary a lot about his strong wrestling. We saw him, he got a takedown in the second round against Brian Barberena, but throws a lot of those kind of kicks up through the middle, very much a counter fighter from what I've seen of him. Yeah. What do you see of him? What do you think? How do you think his skill set matches up against yours?
So, firstly, he's game, right? That's something I got to respect. He took a UFC debut on a week's notice, which means he's a game fight, and you've always got to respect that. Doesn't matter whether he won or lost. Like, he obviously lost the fight, but he gave a good account of himself. Do you know what I mean? Was he tired? Was he a bit sloppy? Yeah. I think he'd sit there and tell you that himself. If he didn't, then he'd be lying, right? It's like if I sat there and said my performance was fucking amazing. It wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't at all, but I'm honest. I live in the real world. I don't sit there and look at bullshit and go, oh, it was amazing. Oh, the finish was great. Fight wasn't. So, I mean, he gave a good account of himself. I mean, he went in there on a week's notice and done 3 fives, whether they were a high pace or not. He's still in there, and he didn't get rocked. He didn't get wobbled. Like, and Brian Barberena is, like, he's a dirty fighter. He likes to make it tough. He likes to make it awkward. I've just looking forward to seeing what he's going to try to do. That's basically it. I don't think there's anything he's going to throw at me that I'm not going to have an answer to. Whether it's he wants to get into that wrestling and showcase this elite level wrestling he's got, it's like, okay, bring it. If he wants to try and stand and bang with me, great, bring it. I don't really care, Sean. I've said this to you many, many, many times. I don't care what people want to do. It's what I want to do that happens, right? They can try. I defend it. I walk around it, I adapt, I overcome, and I inevitably win, right? Every single time.
Last couple of things. I appreciate the time. I know you're rushing off the train after that lovely haircut you have to get. What's the prediction? Do you like? I know we talked before about when you fought Rostam and you predicted that. You predicted most of it. No, what do you think of this one? Do you think it will be because of the way he fights? Do you think it'll be a little tougher, maybe a little bit longer? Or how do you think it'll go without giving too much away? I suppose.
So. I have in my mind I want the first round knockout, right? Obviously, because the sooner I get out of it, the better it is for me in every single sense of the way, like health, like everything about my body, and also hype, right? The sooner I get in, the sooner I get out, the more hype it is. It's like, gosh, we've only seen him fight 2 rounds. But in reality, it's going to be whenever he gets desperate, whenever he starts to, like Jordan did, overreach or try go for a takedown that he shouldn't have gone for. Once he loses that cool, which he will, I'll crack him. I'll make him break, and once I break him, he'll start to panic. And when he panics, that'll be it. I don't care if it's a submission. I don't care if it's a knockout. Once he's out of there in 8 minutes, I'm happy. It finishes up. Look, if it's a finish in the last second of the last round, I don't care. It's a finish. That's my aspect. But ideally, I see him being out there in 8 minutes. I just think, like, I don't really want to go back to the corner and have to listen to advice. I think it's like we've done enough work that I should be able to get it done in 5 minutes. And yeah, I'm not going to rush myself though. I'm not going to go out there and look for anything. It'll when it opens, I'll take it.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And after that, then, like, the world is opening back up now. We've had a couple of Bellator Dublin shows. We have, Cage Warriors coming back to Belfast and all. There aren't that many Irish fighters in the UFC at the moment. Obviously yourself, Conor, Dean Barry, hopefully Paul Hughes by maybe the end of the summer, whenever it might be.
Start next year, maybe.
Yeah. Do you want to be that guy that brings UFC Dublin back? We spoke about it before. I remember we were in the Setanta office in Dublin. You said, I'm looking down at the arena. I want to bring the UFC back here. That has been your goal for a long time. Is that a short-term goal more than anything else? Because, like, if you get too big, you can't fight in Ireland. So it feels like something that has to be done in the next couple of fights. Is that something you're planning? And is that something you want?
Of course it's something I want. Obviously, like, as much as I say I want my friends and family and supporters and everyone who follows me to fly away and go on these amazing adventures, it'd be fucking nice to have a fight in the true arena and fill that out. You know what I mean? That would be for, like, a brand point of view and an Irish point of view and, like, getting the country behind me. That would be the biggest kind of way to do it. Would be like, bring everyone to Dublin and be like, here, this is it. This is the future of the sport. This is the guy who's going to lead it. And I do feel like I will be that guy. Obviously, look, I'm still behind Conor, right? If he wanted to do Croke Park tomorrow and they could make it happen, he'd make it happen, right? But am I absolutely that next wave coming up and the person that is leading the next rise? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think I could do it? 100%. And I hope I can. And I hope the UFC are smart enough to do it, because they're not a stupid organization. They know what to do and they can sell that out. So if that's something they want to do, then I'm game, and I'll happily sit there and headline it.
Ian, thank you very much for the time. I hope that happens and I'll be there to see it if it does. Best of luck with the fight next week. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Sean. Take care. Have a great day and all the best.
Bye. Who you betting on at UFC 273? Can the Korean Zombie beat the odds and defeat Volkanovski, or is the Australian winning by TKO a given? Get your bets on this weekend at betus.com. Use the code Sherdog and get 125% bonus. Betus.com has been taking bets for well over 25 years, and there's a reason it's the #1 UFC sportsbook. With more bet options, live betting at games, betus.com is your new home for UFC betting. Start the fight at betus.com. Use the code Sherdog, SHERDOG.